It can't all be fancy brand new tents and all that kind of thing. Sometimes you got to go back to your old favourites, and this old favourite has had a couple of modifications, a nip and a tuck you might say. So I'm out and about again in Argyll and Bute and looking for a wild camp where we can try this recently modified old favourite of mine. I've also got the tarp with me as well, so hopefully that'll offer us a little bit more freedom as the sun sets. So let's do the weather. So the forecast is reasonable. There's a lot of low lying cloud tonight, so thus not the reason going up high. Plus I've lost my hill legs. Round about 7 degrees, falling to 3 tonight. Just about everything packed for winter. I'm tempted to get some water here. So as it says in the title, this is the Luxe Hexpeak that I'm back out with for this evening. And whilst I absolutely love the tent to bits, and I do, it's very roomy, it's incredibly strong for a single pole tent. It's fussy, it's so fussy. So I've had a bit of a play with it. Now when I say it's fussy, it's all strings and it's like an unruly octopus of some sort. There's just strings everywhere. Now ever since I've had this tent and set it up in my back garden, I've never undone the inner, so I tied everything off, and ever since every time I've used it, it's always been a pitching one. But like I say, it's been messy and untidy and it can get tangled up. And I thought, well, what I need to do is just replace all this Dyneema stuff, this cordage, with shock cord. And at the right tension, in theory, if I pitch the fly and the inner's on the right amount of tension, it should go up first time, every time, the right time. And that's what we're going to try to do tonight. Right, I'm here. I'm actually sharing it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seals. I shall show you them and see if you can pick them up with the GoPro. But they just look like they're well, to be honest, they look like they're waiting for the tide to come in, but they don't seem too bothered by me. And as you can see, I'm on this wonderful little peninsula here. Can you see the seals just down there? So hopefully you can see this. So whereas this was the Dyneema cord and it was all very stringy, this is sort of like shock cord in. I've got another short length here, so that actually pulls the inner that way and that way, and as soon as I pull this tight, the whole thing just pops beautifully into place. Similarly, up here at the top of the tent as well, I put some shock cord up there, so that pulls that tight. And again, you can just see it there. And the beauty of a shock cord is that when you actually pack the tent away, everything just tightens up. But this is by far the best bit. So once you actually set your pole to whatever it is, 132 centimetres, this whole thing just comes lovely and tight. There's no sag. It just works like an absolute dream. I tried it in the garden, and I just pull that up. There was nothing more than just pulling out the tensioners, and this thing just sprung into place perfectly. None of all those dangly pieces of cord, you know. It's fantastic. It really is. I'm really pleased with it now. It's nice and tidy. It needs a clean. What do you think? Well, I've got the Gunyah tarp set up and I'm comfortable. I've got my lights ready, and the tent, as you've seen, is up and done. So it's 20 to 4 now, so we're in good time. We've got a little bit of light left, so just really enjoying. Like I said, you know, the tarp's perfect for this. It's just to be able to relax, the extra light, the extra space. It took a bit of getting up, I don't mind telling you. It's a bit fiddly. I need a bit more practice, but I'm pleased with it. If I had a bivvy, I could even sleep in there tonight. It's an absolutely beautiful evening. More like late afternoon, really, but I've certainly struck lucky here. It's fantastic. Not a breath of wind. It's not too cold. Not bad, eh? I've got these noodles again. These they're like naked noodles. This is the Japanese wasioba or something like that. Anyway, these similar to last time. 300 ml of water. Cheap as chips. Throw in a bit of dolmio pasta. Pasta's wet already, so but it don't weigh a lot. Absolutely splendid. I mean, these freeze-dried meals, you know, particularly the good ones, I won't name names, but they're getting expensive, aren't they, now, you know, for what they are. I mean, especially, I guess if you're doing a long through, like, you know, like Pennine Way or the Cape Wrath or something like that, then definitely, but, you know, for these one-nighters, really, and they're getting like 12, 13, 14 quid a go now, you know. I mean, that's a meal and half a shandy in a local pub. The drink of choice tonight is a yellow-tailed Shiraz. I think it's Australian, jobby. But this yellow-tailed stuff, it's closest to a Syrah without it actually being a Syrah. Very smooth. Well, good with that. Good news is tide's coming in, so I don't have far to walk to wash it. Right, I am back in the tent. I've actually packed up the tarp. It seemed to make sense before it got all the overnight dew on it, because there was a light mist on it, you know, and that kind of stuff. But all packed up, and I'm just going to relax in the tent now, finish off my wine, and listen to some more Alabama 3. One more thing to show you. These Luxe Hexpeaks are fantastic tents, as I've already said. But one of the things in the morning, particularly for us old dudes, is that as bones don't and as muscles don't work quite as well as what they should do first thing in the morning. And reaching down for that zip is a right pain in the backside first thing in the morning, not least because you get yourself covered in condensation that's settled on the fly sheet. So I've done this. So you can see that I've fastened a piece of string from that thing to zip to that zip. Now obviously that is not right down at the bottom because that actually sits nice and tight on there, but in the morning or in the middle of the night, just pull the thing That's what I'm talking about. How are you keeping? I don't know if you can see me. Bear with me, caller. There we go. Just an update really. We are currently running at 8 o'clock. We've had the discotheque going. We're having a good time. The wine's flowing well. I'm on my last one now. The tent, I'm absolutely delighted with. Look how tight that is. I mean, I haven't even done up the zip on the J zip yet. So it's really tight as a drum. Really good. The beauty of this is, I think that in windy conditions, this tent's brilliant. So with this being on shock cord, I think it's going to be even better. I don't even think it'll move. I think it'll almost be like a suspension in wind. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. I mean, the reason I use this tent tonight, because there's not, they're not 4 season conditions. It's around about 3 or 4 degrees outside. There's not a breath of wind, and I were aching to try out these modifications. The pulley on the zip's been brilliant for popping out for a pee. I'm delighted with that. But all good, other than legions of slugs trying to get in, which is pretty unpleasant. We're having a really great night. I've probably got another 30 minutes or something like that, 8:30, and then I'm going to turn in. So I don't know if I'm going to be bringing you back TBH. I've had a wee. I've probably got no reason to go back out, but you never know, you never know. So if I don't see you again tonight, look at all these beasties. I'll see you in the morning. Okay, I am all packed away now, and it really is promising to be a beautiful, beautiful day. There's just a slight breeze, and it's just keeping it nice and cool, which is just how I like it. But an absolutely fantastic place to camp. Really nice. We had about 3 or 4 seals this morning. Just having a nosy. They were there when I arrived yesterday, so I'm assuming that this is their beach, their perch. But I'm going to have a walk back now to where I parked my car, and well,